Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Jennifer Diamond, and I live a whole food, plant-exclusive, sofas-free, gluten-free lifestyle for health and well-being. My friend MaryAnn recently helped me learn how to make one of my husband's favorite raw dishes, and it's called the Living Love Loaf, and she is going to show us how to make it. And she's also going to answer some questions about what is raw and also share about what she does and a little bit more about her. So come along and join us as we learn about the Living Love Loaf. So today I have a special guest with me, my friend MaryAnn, and we met at the Raw Potluck in our neighborhood well, I guess it's Mesa, right?
Yes.
It's in Arizona, and I was fortunate enough to finally figure out where potlucks are, and the first one I went to was MaryAnn's, and they do a lot of beautiful raw potlucks once a month for, I mean, how many years has it been?
23 years.
23 years. And so today, MaryAnn was kind enough to bring over this beautiful juicer that she's going to talk about and share how to make something called the Living Love Loaf. And it's something that my husband and I tried over the Thanksgiving potluck in November, and he loved it so much that he was like, MaryAnn, can you teach me how to make that? So here we are, and you know, welcome and thank you for coming and showing us how to do this. And if you want to just tell us a little bit about what we're doing and what, you know, with the nuts and everything, we can go from there.
Great. Well, thank you very much for having me in your home, and I'm glad you love this. It's one of my favorite dishes, but it is take a few days to make it, so it's not made often. First of all, the potluck started 23 years ago in Arizona, in Mesa, and we've just continued the tradition. We have not missed a third Saturday in 23 years.
I mean, that is incredible. Yeah. That's very commendable.
Thank you. So the Living Love Loaf is nuts, and
right.
what we have here are almonds. You got that? Almonds, cashews, pecans. We have sunflower seeds and pinyon nuts. And the pinyon nuts sometimes tend to be pricey, or you can't find them. I know one year they were $30-some a pound, and we needed 2 cups. So we decided to buy a cup and then substitute it with sunflower seed, which is, if you don't know, is a good substitute for most nuts. Unless you want a really white, creamy, they actually are an excellent substitute for that.
Yeah, or if you have an allergy, or you just, yeah, the expense, that sounds crazy about the pine nuts. But we have this juicer here, and tell us about this fantastic looking juicer.
Well, this is one of my little babies. It's a Champion juicer. I've had it personally over 30 years. I got it.
This thing is made well, 30 years.
Yeah,
wow.
It was probably made in, I'm guessing in the 70s, my guess, by the color, because there's different ones. I have extra pieces that are actually white, and they say the replacement parts were white in the 80s. So I know that it's pretty old. It has what we call a plate, and it's on the bottom here so that the pulp does not come out. It would be the juice would come out here and the pulp would come out here. We don't want anything coming out, so that the consistency of the nuts that we have been chopping and
yeah, we started doing a little bit here already, and it's looking good, but you want the consistency, like you were saying, right?
Very soft. And we have tried it with a food processor, and it doesn't get it smooth enough. It's
grainy?
Really chunky and grainy, and this
chunky.
is actually almost like Play-Doh, and that's what you want. So we are going to go ahead and start mixing and chopping some more.
And so what you're doing is you're mixing a combination of some of the nuts with some, you know, we have some onion and some garlic in here, and you're wanting to do it kind of mixed together so that there's moisture in here. And if you take a look here, when we first started, MaryAnn was just showing the nuts, and you can see it's a little bit of a darker color and it's not as moist. But then when she showed me how you mix the onion and garlic, you can see that it starts to get a little bit, wet, more of a wet texture and a little bit lighter in color. So we're gonna go do that. And I'd like to, while you go ahead and put that on and get starting, I'll just talk a little bit about why it's important to have this particular juicer.
All right. It's because it has the plate.
Because you have the plate, that's right, that's what you talked about. Now, on the recipe, there are some other juicers mentioned.
Yes.
That you could use.
Yes.
And so I think one is called GreenLife, which I've never heard of.
Yeah, and Samson.
And Samson juicer. Yeah, but this is great. Now, I don't know if we mentioned before, so we needed to soak all these nuts ahead of time. And MaryAnn had us do specifically the almonds for an additional 24 hours. So we put them in water, and 24 hours later, I rinsed them, and then put another fresh water to cover, and then the next day rinsed it again, and then put it in the refrigerator. With the rest of them, I only did it for the 1 day instead of the 2 days. And that is important, right? Because you want them to be soft enough to go through the machine.
And yes, but the cashews can really 2 to 4 hours. More than 2 to 4 hours, they start looking maybe purpley or gray.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't affect. Here, I'll even show you.
Yeah.
So it does not affect
the taste or anything.
The taste. Here, I'm going to do it this way because then you can really see.
There you go. There you go.
See, they're kind of gray.
Yeah, they're kind of dark.
And kind of purpley rather than the pretty vanilla-flick colored.
Yes. First of all, this is an amazing bowl. I love this bowl. I mean, this thing is gigantic and perfect for this situation or any big salads I could see using this for. But originally, this recipe was, the original version was created by the family that started the potluck.
Yes.
And could you share a little bit about that?
So, the young boy was allergic to almost everything on the planet. And chocolate and raw onions did not bother him. But some of fruits and vegetables were okay. So they experimented by making certain foods, and it was all raw. And they decided to invite their friends over because that was kind of fun and cool. Well, of course, the kids were teenagers and didn't drive, so the parents had to show up. And when the parents showed up, they go, oh, that looks interesting. Let me try that. Oh, that's really tasty. So it really turned into being an adult potluck after a while. It started 23 years ago. We're carrying on the tradition. Of course, everybody loved it. I said, what can we call this? And the name came up, Living Love Loaf, because we were a raw group, or are a raw group, and so the name stuck. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and my good friend Christa Hollander, who is also a raw foodist, would help me. Would you like to try this?
Yeah, I'll do a couple little bits there. And we're standing on a step stool just to kind of prevent, our backs from hurting, because this takes a lot of muscle, which is another great thing. I love to work out in the kitchen and build our strength in our muscles. So this is fun.
Yes.
Here we go.
And the recipe originally said it would take perhaps 20 minutes to do this.
We're doing great so far. It's almost done.
We'll let you finish it up there.
Awesome. This is fun. I was a little intimidated. I've never used the Champion, and this is a big boy. So,
yes, it is.
But you know what? It's like smooth sailing. It really does a fine job. There we go.
My favorite part is coming up, though. So we'll let you finish that a little bit.
Okay. And let's just...
I'm going to actually rinse my hands.
Wow. And this recipe, we doubled it because we wanted to make sure that we both had, you know, a full recipe's worth. And so this is obviously, I mean, it looks like a lot because it really is a lot. Whoops, I just see that there's like a nut right there. Should we just throw those in here?
Sure.
2 little guys.
It might have been from the very beginning when we first started.
Yeah, that's okay. So should we turn this off? Or how do you do, just keep?
Yep, just turn it off.
Ooh.
And then I unplug
it's starting
it.
to warm. Okay, yes. Oh, good. I'm always unplugging everything when I don't use it. It's really smart. What is it about raw? Like, why do people want to go raw? I understand that the original person, you know, they figured out because there was allergies. And can you imagine only having chocolate and onions? But, you know, what? Can you share a little bit more about that? Because I've tried raw, but let's hear.
Oh, great. Well, I am a colon hydrotherapist by trade, and I was hired at Oasis of Healing, and it is an alternative cancer center in Mesa, Arizona, and all the clients and the patients were on raw diets, so they did green juice and 100% raw food. And I was already vegan at the time, and I had a few friends that were raw. And
I'm gonna get into
would you
it with
like
you.
to help
Yeah,
me?
let's do this
Let's
together.
do
This
this.
is for, you know what? I want to just take this guy off.
And you know, there might be a little nut or onion in here, but we just want to squish it.
Yeah, let's have
together.
fun. Ooh, I love this.
Isn't this fun?
This is great. Yes. Okay, and our hands are clean, and we are the ones eating it, so we're okay. But you could always wear gloves, or if you're going to be making this for a party, you'd want to, you know, make sure you have clean hands and gloves.
Yep.
Anyhow,
exactly.
So yeah, so go ahead.
So I was at Oasis, and that was the next step for me. I thought, well, if the clients and all the patients have to go raw, why can't I? And they served a raw meal every day for the employees, and some of the things were phenomenal. One thing was raw lasagna, and that's something that we may do one of these days.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That's the other holiday that you guys, that was my favorite. This one was Todd's favorite.
Yes, and tamales was one of my favorites.
I don't know that I have that one.
We did raw tacos, and you name it. I mean,
I've done.
We have just made, and if you look up raw, it's not, we don't eat salads every day, guys. I think that's the biggest misnomer that, oh, what do you eat? Carrot sticks? I eat pizza, I eat lasagna, you know.
Yes.
It's just a little different.
It's just a little different. And, you know, I personally, on my health journey, kind of stumbled on raw. I have a girlfriend that had said that she wanted to do it, and we did it together. And after 2 months, I felt really good, and I had a lot of healing going on.
And the next step, we're going to put garlic cloves, and they have to be chopped up, I'm pretty sure, because they should have went through the juicer. I don't even remember, but it says mix well.
Okay.
Rosemary, psyllium, and that's what.
So that'll be our. This is going to be our next phase. So do we set this aside?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to prepare what needs to be prepared.
Okay. So we just finished getting this all beautifully mixed by hand, and that was a lot of fun. And then we realized that we should have actually probably put the extra garlic that we had. We have these another set of garlic, and the instructions are a little bit wonky.
Yeah, exactly.
So. If you're doing this, you're going to want to do all the garlic at the same time. So anyways, do you want to help me? We can just, and then I have this thing right here. You can try either one you want. You hold it here, and you literally just do this.
Okay.
And it grinds it up. So between the two of us, we can just mince it really quick.
It depends on how strong you are.
Yeah, I can do that. If you want to try this one. But we're just going to mince it up. You could also just cut it up by hand, and that's fun. These bigger pieces I'm going to put in here to go through that machine.
Okay, and I'll tree.
How can I go raw, be successful, and not be hungry? Can you share with me any tips? Because, you know, and one other thing I hear people say, and I've said it myself, it's hard to go raw in the winter because it's cold weather. So what are your thoughts? Give me some tips and help here.
How long do we have? No.
Uh-oh.
In regards to the rawness, first of all, when you eat something raw, your body is satisfied and you feel good because it's getting all the live nutrients, typically speaking. The other secret is at least 80% raw. If you can do 80% raw, then that will help you feel better. Your body will react much better. And for those of you out there that are not familiar with raw, you're going, hey, wait a minute. Well, here's an easy way to go raw, at least 50% without going crazy, is you have a green salad for one meal a day. I suggest you do it at lunch because lunch is work or you're home.
That's what I do. I love salad. Well, I even eat salad for breakfast.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, usually I say dinner is for friends, family, or fun, and you don't want to be eating a big salad when everyone else is enjoying, whatever food they're eating. So if you can eat a salad for lunch, all the greens you want, and obviously organic, put avocado in it, you can put seeds and nuts, all the vegetables and fruits you want in it, and that will give you 50% of your daily intake right there. And so you don't have much more to continue. So if you want cooked oatmeal or rice for dinner or something like that.
Potato, yeah, any starches.
Absolutely.
Well, let's continue talking about this, but let's move on. I think we're all mixed up. We've got the garlic back in here, and it looks really good if you want to show right there.
Yep.
And I'm just going to put this in the sink, and so you go ahead and tell me, what are we doing next?
So we're going to put in rosemary and psyllium seeds and black pepper.
Rosemary, psyllium husk, and black pepper.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk to you for a second. Let me grab that.
All right.
Rosemary and black pepper. Okay.
Yep. And the celery needs to be chopped. Oh, and it called for lemon.
We'll get lemon together. So I just want to say that I use a lot of different kinds of spices from different companies, but I have been really enjoying the local spicery spices, and today we're using their rosemary, and I went ahead, it's almost gone because I use it and enjoy it so much. I went ahead and put it in this cute little Plant Strong new mortar and pestle that I have, and I'm just grinding that up, and so that's ready to go. And this company, I really like what they stand for. They're located in Northern California, and they're a family-owned business, and they do small batches. There's no nothing added, and so anyhow, I just wanted to share that because they do their own milling. I mean, it's really great. So we're going to add that, and then we've also got the psyllium husk.
And I think we'll put that in last.
Oh, okay. So what are we putting in first then? You tell me. Do we need to
put the rosemary, the black pepper?
Okay, so here we go. Rosemary, I'm going to pour it in.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got all the rosemary going in, and then we're going to do some black pepper, which how much of this do you?
Till your hand is tired. No.
Till my hand is tired. Here we go.
It says about half a teaspoon, but because we doubled it, I'd put a good teaspoon.
Okay, okay. And then what else are we going to add in here?
We're going to put the chopped celery.
Okay.
Cumin.
Okay, so.
And sage.
Okay, so I'm going to move the pepper aside for right now. We've got the rosemary in there, the black pepper, and then if you reach over there, that is sage already measured out, and the cumin, and that's what you had said, right?
Yes, and
we'll
the
just
pepper. Sprinkle that in there.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And do you know some of the sage that I'm using is actually from fresh sage that I had dehydrated?
Out of your garden?
No. Let's see. Was it? I don't think it was. I think I bought it at the farmer's market.
Okay.
And anyhow, and then I ran out, so then I did use store-bought, but that's kind of fun to share.
Well, I was local, and you're supporting the community.
Yes.
I think that's really great.
So you said hold off on this right now?
I would put that in last.
Okay, so what we're going to do here while she mixes that up is you want to do some celery, finely chopped celery, and I started to slice some of it, but then MaryAnn said, oh, we need it finer, so I'm going to go ahead and give it another finer chopping, and then I'm going to add these to it.
Great. Show that. That's about how you want it.
Oops, I see this a little.
You want it pretty fine.
Pretty fine. So I'm going to start to add it in and keep chopping. Do you want any kind of spoon, or you're still enjoying using your hand? I know.
Play-Doh.
I know.
At the beach in the sand.
Oh, yes.
We can make a sand castle.
Oh my
here.
gosh,
Let's
that would
see,
be
what
so
can we
great.
do?
Go for it.
Or make a snowman because it is winter.
That's true.
I love me a snowman.
Winter in Arizona would look like this, a snowman anyways, because we don't have, at least down here in Phoenix area, we don't get any snow. So, you know, a lot of people are really concerned with protein. And what would you recommend for people during raw in terms of beans, tofu, tempeh, legumes, lentils? I've sprouted lentils. I tried to do garbanzo beans and it didn't work very well. But outside of that, you know, what do you do?
I will eat more nuts. One of my go-tos is almond butter is my favorite.
Oh.
I personally don't eat peanuts, but some people can eat peanuts. And even if it's on celery or if I'm in a hurry, a couple spoons in my mouth and out the door. But I can personally tell when I need protein, and so I up it.
Yes.
But I don't go buy a burger and I don't eat cheese and I don't go and I have to have protein powder, because that's not, you know, not to say I don't use protein powder, but that's not my go-to.
Yeah, and you know, this is really good, and I appreciate you sharing. You know, these are good tips and tricks, and you know, I feel like I'm being called to go raw. I've been feeling it for a while, and I've been resisting it a little bit, but I feel like I am doing the 80%.
Good.
And I have been, but I would like to get to the 100%, and I do also incorporate green smoothies throughout the day, and some juicing, and the big salads that you said. But then I like my potatoes, you know, and stuff at night right now anyways. I want to be as successful in my healing journey as possible. And having the opportunity to have the energy, which is why I want to share with everybody, you know, is just makes me want to stay right in that space. So I think, what do you think? Keep going a little bit more?
Just a little bit.
Okay, just a little bit. We're almost ready.
Mincy.
Almost ready with the celery mincing. And so I think this is ready.
All right.
And I'm going to go ahead and add it to your beautiful bowl of goodness.
Mixing.
Look at that. Let's just put it in the camera. There you go. Look at that.
How beautiful that is.
I love this scraper. I'm always telling about this scraper. This scraper is like my favorite kitchen tool.
Great.
And so now I'm going to go ahead and rinse my hands, and we'll do the lemon.
Yep.
And then we'll have the last thing.
It says 4 teaspoons, but if you did a half, I think we'd be okay.
We'd be okay. Okay.
Then we don't have to really measure.
Okay, that sounds good.
Let's face it, ladies. Once we're in the kitchen, we get in a hurry. Maybe you might measure everything, but when somebody asks me for a recipe, it's like, well, I put a little bit of this.
Yeah.
But this recipe I follow pretty much to the T, but
I'm
not
just going to go ahead.
all my recipes. Yeah. Yep. And I want to do a shout out, not that I think she's going to see this video, but my girlfriend Marie, who moved to Australia, left last year with 2 suitcases. And that was it. She moved to Australia.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
And this bowl was a gift. She says, you do a lot of potluck. She says, would you like it? Thank you, Marie, because it's one of my favorite. Marie. Thank
you, Marie, because I get to enjoy it now too through MaryAnn. I appreciate it, and it is beautiful. Like I had mentioned earlier, what a great story! What a great, you know, thing that she did for you.
Yep. No accidents in life is what I like to say, because look at we met.
That's right.
You know, a year ago, 6 months ago, I would have never imagined.
Yeah. Being here tonight?
Yeah, because you said, you want to videotape this? And I really hesitated. I go, I'll get back to you.
No, you're doing great.
Depending on how my hair looks that day, I think that was my real answer, right?
Your hair looks great all the time. And I'm glad you did it.
And we are good.
Okay, so this is the psyllium husk I don't know what a flake looks like.
Let's try with 6 and
Okay.
just kind of see.
Okay, there's
and
one.
If you can kind of shake it in there.
Okay.
Rather than one lump.
Oh, okay. Whoops,
There
it's
you
not
go.
really.
Yeah, it's
2. I want to count together.
Yeah, I think
3.
I think 6 is going to be enough.
Okay, 4. I love this teamwork. This is so fun. 5. And one more. One more.
Just by the look, it just
6.
seems. So if you are using a powder form, do half the amount than if you use the
flakes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you want to help me?
Yeah, let's
because you can see how thick it is.
Oh,
see
yeah.
How it's, like
Oh,
it's,
yeah. Oh, this is really, it's a little bit different than when we first started, but it's really, it's
meatballs, but
yeah,
I don't think
it's
they
very-
would dehydrate.
It's very fine, though. It's a fine consistency, and I could see how this could be a meat-type substitute in texture.
Yes.
Especially if somebody is, looking for that. I mean, some people are looking for that. So, okay, so now what are you doing? It's all mixed.
Well,
We've got
I'm just having fun. But
Oh, okay. Are you making a bunny? Or a heart?
Gee, my heart is not very good if you think that's a bunny.
No.
It's kind of, you got 8 ears on there?
No, I see.
But
It's a
kind
heart.
of a heart.
It's a
and
heart.
then that was
Yeah.
about the right.
Put it down right here a little bit.
Oh.
There we go. Yeah, that's nice. I love
It's
it.
kind of a-
Yeah, it's a beautiful heart. So, okay, so the dehydrator, I don't have the whole machine in the camera right now, but I've got, this is the dehydrator
Sheet Teflon.
Teflon and the tray. And so we're gonna load these, and I happen to have the 9 tray, so we will be able to fill. I don't have that many of the Teflons, but we can always, if you don't have those sheets.
Remember, half of it's going home with me, girlfriend.
That's
so
right. That's right.
Don't worry about space.
Okay.
You'll have plenty.
But you could also use parchment paper if you didn't have
Yes.
anything like this. So.
Wax paper if you don't have.
Oh, wax paper. Okay.
Yeah. I
So.
think, but I would not go any thicker.
So that looks about what? A little bit up here. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. What is that? Like about a 1/2 inch or a quarter?
We can measure
Yeah.
it soonly.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would definitely say no thicker.
And then tell me, once we get these in there, how long, and what are the next steps?
So there's 2 steps. Typically speaking, when I have made it in the past, I make it the night before because I get the help. And then I take it home and it's refrigerated. And then I get up in the morning and shape it, or shape it the night before, put it in the fridge, either way. And I put it in the dehydrator, and I start it at about 120.
Okay.
And I only do it for 2 hours because that refrigerated
Oh, yeah.
patty,
Yeah.
I don't want to call it a burger, I like patty better, then it won't be so cold. And then I turn it back to about 110.
And then for how many hours? How do you know when it's ready to go?
Well, I would say in 4 to, and especially with the size and shape that you have for these, I would do maybe 4 hours and flip it. And I am going to say that the original recipe calls for a topping. And the topping and the base is typically namashayu sauce, soy sauce, Bragg's aminos. It uses a little
Coconut, amino, any of those.
Any of those aminos.
Any of those.
Extra virgin olive oil, which I know that that's not something we're particularly using, and paprika. I like to use a smoked paprika. You could use water. You want to baste it, and it kind of gives it that little brown kind of, and it adds just a little flavor to it.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to use, I don't use oil, and I'm not going to use any kind of amino acid, but I do have some smoked Spanish sweet paprika.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to put a little bit on.
Yeah, try it.
And we'll experiment. So I'm not going to water it down. I'm just going to
put it on directly.
Yeah, just let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's really good. You gotta like your paprika.
Hold on, let me do this differently.
Well, and you're at a different stance as well, so.
There we go. So let's go ahead and do it a little more gently. This is my little heart. And maybe I can move this around a little bit.
If you're really an onion person,
Wow.
you can make it really oniony, like a French onion. That would be a nice idea. And I'm going to challenge, Jennifer, all of your listeners out there.
Okay.
When they make this, to add something different and send it on to you so we kind of have a general idea of what idea you have, because we all learn from each other.
That's true. And, you know, I would just like to say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell so you'll be notified when I go live or post new videos. And we would love to hear from you. So post a comment, ask a question, give us a tip. And like MaryAnn said, tell us what you're going to try or what you have tried, what's worked. And if you like the content and you'd like to see more and help us spread the word about raw, whole food, plant-based, hit the like button. Thank you so much. So I started cutting this one because I thought that it was way thicker than that one, but I wanted to keep the shape. So, you know, there's no right or wrong about it. And that's what I think is really beautiful about being able to do this. It's very therapeutic and it's very crooked. But that's okay. I'm just going to kind of smash it a little bit more and go from there.
Great.
Now, when you've done this in the past, you haven't done these smaller shapes.
Never. This is the first time.
This is the first time. So normally, you just do one gigantic
heart.
One gigantic heart.
And if I can find a picture to send forward, you can add it to the end of this.
Yeah.
And those of you who are in the Phoenix area or plan to be in the Phoenix area, we would love to have you join our group. It's the Plant-Powered People of Arizona. We're on Facebook, and Veg Phoenix is a great site that you can go to on Meetup, and we're on several Meetup groups as well. So we're easy to find. If not, contact Jennifer. She'll hook you up.
Yes, absolutely. We would love to see anyone, even if this isn't, you don't have to be raw or whatever. If you're just curious and you want to learn, come and enjoy the wonderful dishes and the great people that are there. And you know what? If you're not in the area, don't be afraid to look in your area and find a group like this and experience something that might be new that you might really enjoy. So I'm going to continue rolling these out. And I'm gonna put it in the dehydrator, and then tomorrow MaryAnn won't be here to help me take them out, but I will come back and we will finish this up and taste it. And so thank you so much for your time with us. We've had a great time, and thank you, MaryAnn, for all that you shared, the recipe and all the great information about what you do and about the raw questions and sharing with people about our community.
So I would like to just share, even if you have curiosity, follow your intuition, do it, and take baby steps. Don't try to become what we're doing because it's our lifestyle. Try one thing, maybe give up dairy or give up wheat or give up even meat, even Meatless Monday. Just try baby steps, because if you do that, you'll be more successful than if you go, I want to be like her, and you throw away everything and start, and 3 days later you're starving and you're mad and you're cranky, because your body changes and you will be cranky. Because we're giving up sugars, we're giving up salts and things that our body is used to having. So take a baby step, do one thing and stick with it. Even if it's Meatless Monday or smoothies twice a week, try something, and then the more you do it, the easier it is to stick with it.
Yes.
And I am a certified colon hydrotherapist by trade. That's what I do in the meantime during the day when I'm not preparing wonderful food. And remember, your number 2 is your number 1 priority. I can help.
Thank you so much,
You're
everybody.
welcome.
Take care, and don't forget to eat your greens. Well, we're back, and it has been lots of hours since MaryAnn left. I ended up running the dehydrator for 4 hours, and then I turned it off. I actually set the timer to go for 4 hours and turned it off and left it, go off on its own. And the reason that I did that is because I was sleeping. So in the morning, I went and put the timer on for an additional 8 hours. And at the 4-hour mark, I checked it and then flipped them over. And so it's been a total of 12 hours in the dehydrator. Now my mats that we put them on are a little bit thicker, and I noticed that sometimes it takes a little bit extra time to cook. So I moved the dehydrator over here just so that we can take it out and you can see how it's looking in here. I have 3 shelves worth, and so let's just take one of them out. Look at this. Here they are, and this is the back side, right? Because we had flipped them over halfway. And I also want to tell you, I'm going to flip them over. They're warm. This just went off the timer, but I'm going to show you the other side. And when we were together last, I had put on some smoked paprika on a couple of these, as you can see. And then you can't really tell, but some of these I decided afterwards. Let's see, this one you can see a little. I put some other seasonings, and what I used was some of my other favorite seasonings, and one of them is the Well Your World Galaxy Dust, and the other one is Benson's Table Tasty. Now, I thought of this after the fact, but you know, the original recipe calls for salt, and we didn't use salt because I don't eat salt knowingly or, you know, on purpose. And so I was thinking after the fact, a salt substitute might be really good to mix in that mixture. But we had already done everything. So I kind of just sprinkled it on top, and I just wanted to let you know. And if you decide to make this and you have that machine, you can either sprinkle it on top or you can mix it in if you don't want salt in there. So here we go. We have our beautiful heart-shaped one, and we've got a lot of circles. Some of them are different. And so let me just show you also. We only had 2 on this tray, and they look a little bit, I think they're a little bit thinner than the other ones. So I'm gonna put them aside here. And then I'll bring out the last tray that I have. Ooh, and these are a little bit thicker also. So that could also be why it took me so long. So yes, you can see that this one has some of the seasonings that I just spoke about. And let me just see. Yep. So I'm not sure which one is the Table Tasty and which one is the Galaxy Dust, but I do know that these over here are definitely the smoked paprika, sweet and smoky paprika. And that seasoning is by Savory Spice. So anyways, all right, I am going to take a couple of these guys off, and I am gonna try them. Let's taste this. So let me put this in here. And if anybody noticed my shirt, it's a gift from my husband, very exciting. So I'm wearing it. Now for storing these, I can either put them in the freezer if they're not gonna be eaten right away, or you can put them in the refrigerator. I would even say that they're safe to put on the counter in a container, a sealed, some type of airtight container. So I am also going to invite Todd over. Todd, would you come in here, please? Because this is his one of his, choices of recipes to try.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, anyways, I was just telling everybody about this beautiful shirt that you made for me,
yeah.
and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And, you were here when MaryAnn, when we put this together.
I was.
And so are you ready to try?
I have been for hours.
Okay, so I put these 2, but you're welcome to try. I can pull the other ones back out. You're welcome to try any of them.
Let's start with these.
Okay, so we can either pick them up and break them. I think I'm going to break one.
Okay.
But I have silverware here.
Breaking them sounds fantastic.
Okay, So I'm kind of interested in this one, and I want to do it over here so that we can all take a look. So it is a little bit, you know, it's not crunchy. Looks good. Look at that.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look good?
It is.
So we have those two. I'm going to break this one also, and then we can try it. And you're going to have to say what you think compared to when you originally tried it.
Okay.
So go ahead first, and then.
Which one should I try first?
I mean, whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm just going to break a piece off.
Okay, let's do that.
But you can do whatever.
Okay.
It is, and make sure, is it dehydrated enough inside? Let me try. This one could go longer in the dehydrator.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to put them back because these are pretty thick.
Mm-hmm. And some of them are even thicker. Yeah.
Mm.
Taste-wise, though, I think it's good. Whichever the topping is on here is interesting. Yeah, and I think it adds a little bit more, certainly a salt flavor to it.
Yeah. Now, why did I say that I thought it should be cooked a little bit more? Because, let me see, it just seems a little chewier, really kind of soft in there than I would think it would be. Do you remember what the texture and stuff was? So,
I thought I remembered it being a little crispy, kind of on the outside, and tender but not mushy on the inside.
yeah, so I'm going to put these back in for a few hours,
Okay.
and we can try it again.
Can we taste them?
Taste them when?
This one?
Yeah. I'm going to taste this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like the edges are cooked up and the
Yeah.
inside is a little bit chewy. So we're going to taste it and then put them back in for a little longer. This one, the edges are good.
Yeah.
I just think it needs a little more time.
Yeah, a little more in the middle. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I guess
But-
we're going to put it back in.
Again,
Yeah.
from a taste standpoint, pretty good.
What do you think about, can you tell the difference between the two toppings, even though there are three? I think I actually am
Well, this one is clearly saltier, whichever topping this is.
well, it's one of the salt-free
Yeah.
toppings that we had, and I think I like that better than the smoked paprika.
I would agree. I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to load the tray. I'm going to put these back on just
Okay.
because it's us eating it, and, you know, we're just going to retaste those.
Eat them again anyway.
And so I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, and I think I'll put it on for another 4 hours, but I'll check it, and I'm sure that that'll be ready by then. So we'll see ya. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. This has been going a few hours, and I just turned it off, and we're gonna see if they're ready now. So let me just take the lid off and take some of these back out. Let's see if you could see, look at that. They look a little better. And let me call Todd over since this is his like favorite thing. Todd, come on over. And I was just telling everyone,
Hello, everyone.
hello everyone, that, you know, we've had these in a few more hours. So
We did.
do you want to go ahead and try it? And let's see if, you know, if they're done or what your thoughts are. Okay, so take the pieces that you want. We can put it on a tray, and I'll just take this one right here. This is, I'm
yeah, they
actually
feel
gonna
crispier.
break it open
They already feel
over there.
crispier, yeah.
Yeah. There's some onion in there. This one still has a little moisture, but you know what? I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it so much. It's not crunchy, but it's crispier.
It's got a firmness on the outside, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still kind of tender inside. Yeah.
Nice. So here you go. It worked.
Yay!
And, you know, if this is something that you are interested in, you know, please let us know in the comments. So, and I would say that maybe we could have turned up the temperature slightly if we, you know, knew, but, you know, in learning, this is what we did. And so what we can do now is, if Todd doesn't eat them all, I'll probably have a little, this can be stored in the freezer. And just take it out, and I would just let it thaw. If you like it warm, you could put it back in the dehydrator, and just heat it up, or you can crumble it on a salad, and, you know, or just eat it like we are. So you can even dip it in a vegan, well, it's not even vegan, but like a whole food plant-based ranch that you can make out of cashews or white beans, navy beans. What else could you do with it?
Well, we have one of those wraps left. So if we share that wrap, I might crumble this into my half.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you can build a sandwich or do anything. So anyways, we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was really fun. We're so grateful that MaryAnn shared the recipe with us and taught us all the things that she knows, so that Todd knows now how to make one of his favorite recipes. And
Who to call.
and we hope to hear from you guys. Let us know if you try it.
Yep.
Don't forget to eat your greens and take care. Until next time.
Bye.